Welcome back to the Next Play podcast on Crofty and Shively. Matt, it's been a minute.
It's been a little bit. Life is lifing.
Life is lifing. It's a busy season for both of us professionally. It's a busy season with sports. So when there are things going on, we're usually not together right now.
Right.
So it's good to see you, man. And episode 11, I think this is going to wrap it up for the season because there's really no more. There's a couple more baseball games left, but that's about it. So we're hanging out here at Justice, just kind of out by the coffee shop and seeing who wanders by. Have a couple conversations. What are your takeaways from this first season for both of these programs, actually?
Yeah, a couple inaugural seasons for the beach program and the baseball program, and I think a lot of learning happened for both. I think with the beach program, we found out most of these girls had never played beach volleyball before, so it's not you and I might look at it and say, oh, it's the same sport, but it's not. And that's one of the things we mainly learned is it's a different game, the two-person game via having a full squad and then running in the sand and the heat and the
Most
elements.
of them didn't even sound like they knew they were playing beach when they signed up.
No, it was a new ad.
Yep.
And I think Sam was the only one we talked to that had any beach experience.
Yeah, I'm sure there were others, but
I'm sure there were others.
We have a sample size of 4 that we talked to.
Yeah.
So
and for baseball, like it, I think some highlights for me, that first series we got to watch, they got their first win as a program against Lemoyne-Owen, first series win, taking 2 of 3 from them. And that really launched into, an up and down season, which you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely learned a lot. Bullpen was their bugaboo, as I taught you that word earlier.
Bugaboo, yes.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Like, it was something at the plate when they were left. I can't remember what it was now, but
yeah,
they were left standing there looking. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll remember.
Catchers wear the tools of ignorance.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah.
The tools of ignorance.
You've got to be pretty stupid to be a catcher.
Have a 90-mile-an-hour ball thrown at you every time. I've seen some recent highlights for the major league season that remind you how fun it can be to be a catcher sometimes.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so for the first year of both of these programs, I think I didn't know what to expect, and I thought we walked into the baseball season, especially thinking, man, he recruited 40 guys to come play the first year of a program. That's amazing. And it kind of panned out that way. That most of them stuck around. They seem to be gelling pretty decently as a team. I jokingly tell people, like, you can see the sports on this campus just by walking around. Oh, that group is baseball. Yeah. Here comes basketball. Oh, there's women's volleyball. So it's good, though, when all these teams can gel and mesh. And
yeah, they have something that connects them instantly. I think as a dad who's got a daughter who will be going off into the world not too long from now, like, you want that. You want those handholds for them to find friends.
Hang on, let me get that tear for you, Matt. Let me get that tear.
Goodness
Here you go.
Got another year, but it's coming.
And they just never come back, right?
You tell me.
Well, I'll tell you 2 sides of that coin, because my wife went off to college. We got married. She never went back.
No.
So, but then, our kids have luckily come around for a while, so that's good. But yeah, it's good to have that. My son had that at GCU. He's in the pep band, so being able to walk in and have an instant family.
A place where you belong.
Yeah, for sure.
Good.
So it's been cool to watch that. It's exciting to see fencing delivered for baseball, so looking forward to that happening.
On the move, they have their big spring banquet, or their sports banquet this Sunday.
Okay.
So they're going to name. So if we wind up doing one more, we could announce who the male and female athletes of the year are for the school. So that will be announced on Sunday.
Okay.
Just found that out.
I think everybody listening should just go.
You should
the
just
banquet.
go Sunday at 4:30.
Support the sports teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. It's that time of year. I'm going to miss graduation for the first time since being at Justice. So, but it's been good. What are your? Let's see who comes. Let's just see who comes and wanders by.
All right,
and then we'll go from there. Should we start waving at people? I think we should.
Yep.
Well, would you look at that? It's the Beau and the Lumberjack walking up to our lonesome table over here.
Very lonesome table.
Yes. You guys want to sit down for a minute and chat?
Sure.
Cool. So we're sitting here with Sam Atwood and Abby Bergeron. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah? You glad that the season's over? So careful with your answer here, because you're being recorded.
We're very excited for indoor season. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. It was fun for beach, but excited to get back to it. Yes.
Yep. So tell us what you've learned this season. It was your first season playing beach, right?
Mhm.
Both of you?
I played in high school.
You played in high school, okay. What were your thoughts, Abby, then on the first time playing competitive beach?
Very different from indoor. A lot more hustle. I don't know. Definitely gets you more in shape. Yeah, but it's super fun. It's a lot more strategy and ball placement versus just power.
Yeah.
Indoor, yeah.
I think for me, watching and kind of reflecting, like running on sand's got to be way different. You can't quite get to that ball as quickly as you could if you're on court. So just the reaction time, how was that, learning a new reaction time to your own speed and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was super different. I think it's a lot more trust. Coach always said, like, there's extra credit balls. Take what you can, and then if you can get to the other one, it's extra credit. Good up, but if not, yeah.
What about for you, Sam, playing at this level? What was your takeaway from the season playing your first year in college?
I thought it was super fun. Towards the end, the beginning, I was like, man, this still is not my favorite. But then towards the end, I thought it was really fun. We were still losing at the end, but I was playing with Abby, and it was really fun. We started talking a lot more in our last 2 games, and I think talking really helped us. But yeah, moving in the sand is still awful. You'll start turning around one way, and then they'll put the ball the other way, and you just got to move real quick, and usually it doesn't work.
And you guys got scheduled some pretty decent opponents your first year out there too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit. Like, what was that like to play because there were a couple at least higher level opponents that you guys played with.
I think our hardest game was against Ottawa because Ottawa won the state champions last year. So, yeah, for first year playing, that was a little rough.
And they're a conference up, right there, NAIA.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely had some more, I don't know what the word is, but they just, like, knew more of the sport.
Yeah,
they
more
had more maturity,
experience.
their program was, like, set in stone.
Yeah.
The counselor and psychology professor in me is like, I think being watching beach, you probably learn good communication skills with your partner.
Yeah.
Probably translates to life too, how to communicate with other people. What did you learn as far as how to sometimes even non-verbally communicate to your teammate?
I think I realized when Abby goes on a run on her serves, and there'll be one play where I don't say something at the net, and that's when our point gets messed up. Is when I'm not like, yeah, you got this, Abby, you're doing great, keep it up. I think the encouragement and the talking nonstop really helped, and we saw that in the higher level teams too. They were talking a lot too, and I think if we had started that at the very beginning of the season, we could have improved a lot more.
That's awesome. I have 2 kind of not so serious questions, but I would think a plus of the beach season is going to work on your tan.
Oh
right?
yeah,
That's
it's
nice.
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Except for the spandex tan lines, those aren't
Yeah.
great,
But
but we
take
do
it.
look really dark.
oh, yeah.
Thankfully, I will never have that problem.
Yeah,
Yes, thankfully for everyone around.
right.
And I would imagine you're still finding sand,
Oh
like
yeah,
in your
everywhere.
room, in random
Everywhere.
places, and
Yeah.
in your books,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
your phone. And
Our bathroom
It's
was
in our
a
bathroom.
little beach.
A lot, yeah. I'm pretty
Tons of
sure
sand
there's
everywhere.
still some in my hair.
Probably, yeah.
I don't think you can ever get all that out.
Probably somewhere in, like, an ear or something.
Yeah.
earring.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us.
Of course.
As you just randomly walked by the table,
Yeah, just
not knowing
casual.
what we were doing at all.
It's
Definitely
not at all
not.
planned.
Not planned
No,
whatsoever.
at all.
Well, good luck with finals finishing out. Have a great
Oh,
summer, and we'll
yes.
see you at court next year.
Yeah, we will.
All right, see you. Matt, we have another random passerby that never knew that we were even going to be out here.
So
Zoe
serendipitous.
Pepper, Erica Graves, ready to get things going here. So, welcome, ladies. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So, tell us about your season, your final season. I think Zoe, you said maybe?
Yeah, for beach. Yeah.
for beach.
Yeah.
Yes. So, tell us about how you guys enjoyed the season, what you got, your takeaways, that sort of thing.
You want to go first?
I just want to say, like, I'm very happy to play a sport outside again. I haven't played sport outside for a while, and I really enjoyed getting, some tan lines.
We were saying that earlier to the other 2. It's like, you guys have all gotten pretty tan this season.
Matt and I, that wouldn't work for us. We'd go out there and we'd be like beet red coming
Yeah.
out. And,
Usually I would too, but
Yes.
Yeah.
sometimes.
Good planning, protection.
Yeah.
So aside from playing outdoors, tell us about the first. Did you guys play beach volleyball before this?
Was this new?
Or was
This
this new
was
for
new.
both of you?
Yeah, new
This
for both of us.
completely new. I mean, we play like non-competitive, but
It's
it's a whole
fun.
different aspect.
Yeah.
So when you came to Justice, you knew you were playing indoor. Did you
Yes.
know at the time you played beach, or was it like after the fact they added you to beach?
It was after the fact.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough though. It was, yeah, it's a different game. We were talking earlier today just about how it's harder to run in the sand. You can't get where you want to get as quick as you want.
Yeah.
Can't get the lift on the blocks and the hits that you want to get.
Yep.
Tell us what your thoughts were just about playing teams that have been playing longer than you and that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
It was definitely challenging at first, but once we finally got the hang of it and like figured out like the fundamentals, it was definitely a lot easier and a lot more fun. And it was nice that a lot of the coaches that we played in the beginning and then towards the end, they like improved. They were like, "Oh, yeah, you guys improved." Like they encouraged us. They were like, "You guys are doing good." So that was nice to hear.
Yeah, it was definitely an adjustment. I didn't realize how much like it's a completely different sport from indoor. Like there's a little bit different rules, like the fundamentals. Like yeah, you pass, you set, you hit, but the game itself is so different, and especially like in the sand makes it harder.
Yeah, I had to learn new words from Zoe. I remember the first time we broadcast, I was like, tell me what those things are. I've never said pokey in my life until then. So
And I imagine too, like we were talking about this in the fall in the court season, just a lot of times you got to stop the momentum of the other team, and if they're on a run, you got to try to stop that. I would think that's even more important in beach, to stop that momentum, because it can go downhill real fast if the other team gets a roll. How did you
Yeah.
guys experience that?
It was definitely, our coach definitely told us a lot, like take your time on serving, like fix the lines,
Yeah.
Slow
turn
down.
around, brush the sand off
Yeah.
you, kind of just like play your game, slow down the game, since we weren't as like, I wouldn't say as conditioned, but we weren't high level with everyone, so just kind of play our role and determine the game more so.
Dictate the pace. a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, you definitely get tired faster since there's only two of you out there.
And in the heat, it's definitely different from indoor, especially out here in Arizona too.
March was brutal. It was
Yes.
so hot.
and they happen to have like a few matches during the hottest times
Yeah.
too, which
Yes.
is not fun. So
We were out there for one of them. It was
Yep.
really, really
you had a tent. I don't know. I was holding an umbrella trying to like survive out there. But so what's your takeaway for next year? Both of you, you're playing. You said beach, so I'm guessing you're still playing indoor.
Hopefully, I can
Hopefully.
still play one more year of
Okay.
indoor.
That would be good. What about for you? Are you playing both again next year?
Yeah, I plan on playing both again.
Yeah?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was definitely challenging, but I enjoyed it.
Very cool. Well, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Good job. First season in the books. I know it wasn't the way you
Yes.
wanted it to go, but
It's definitely fun.
Yeah.
somebody's got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
All right. Thank you both. Have a great
Yes.
day. Good luck on finals.
Thank you.
See ya.
All right, we're here with Jarrett Chavez. How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Awesome. So we've been talking in our class this year a little bit about some of the psychological things that go into pitching. And it's been your freshman year as a college pitcher. What do you think overall you've learned about pitching through the course of this year? I know there have been ups and downs.
I think I gotta say is just controlling my emotions. I think that's the big factor that I learned all this year, and that whatever happens in my outing, I know there's always another day that I could prove myself again, and just show up.
That's right. And I think you, talking at the beginning of the year, like you're so excited to get to play in college, and from the fall and just all of that prep for this spring season. You were one of the ones Coach Zach said was most improved over your fall season, right, in your game. So what do you think you took from that into the spring season?
Just going out there, trusting my stuff. I got a diary and started journaling my thoughts. And one thing you said in class was write the truth over the lie. So before I go up there, I like to say like things that are not true, and then just cross it over and say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this." So like an example, I'm not gonna get 3 outs. I always tell myself I'm gonna get 3 outs. Tell myself a lot of things, and I go up there and I just get those 3 outs somehow. So yeah.
I'm curious if you have a moment this season where you were on the mound and maybe you got in trouble, got behind or something like that, and you kind of had to put that mental fortitude to test? Can you think of a time that you had a rough go of it and then had to bring it back out again? And
Yeah. Let me see if I can remember. It's probably recent. You know, it was not one of my proudest outings I had. You know, the emotions got to me, but did some things I didn't want to do. You know, but I had to calm myself down, come back, and cheer on my team because there's always a lot of game left. And you don't know what could happen in college baseball. So
There's two things with the psychology of specifically being a relief pitcher that I've always found interesting. If you could let us know what you think on this, but you don't always know when you're going to come in. You don't know exactly the situation you're going to inherit. Is it easier for you to inherit runners on base, or do you like a clean inning?
Oh, I love the pressure.
You like it?
Yeah, I love the pressure. I feel like I was meant for those moments because I don't know, I just like people watching me pitch. It's just so much fun, and it pumps up my adrenaline and just helps me go as long as I can until it wears off.
That's awesome. And then the second thing I was always wondering is when coach comes out for a mound visit and you're in a jam, what are you hearing from him when they come to calm you down and tell you, hey, here's the plan with this hitter? Is that helpful, or does that?
Yeah, it does. It helps me a lot because he just comes up and he's like, hey, relax, all faith in the world. So, it pumps me up more. It pumps me up, and he tells me, hey, your defense got your back, and it just, calms you down. Like you're over here rushing, your adrenaline's kicking up, and you don't know what to do. You're just freaking out, and then he just comes up there, just, hey, calm down, you're fine. And then the next batter, you get him out, and you're like, it's a pretty good feeling.
That's awesome, man.
Well, coming up to the end of your first season, you got a couple more games here, but what do you think, just in general, of the first year of the program, the level of competition you played against? Was it what you were expecting when you came to Justice, or did you face people maybe that you weren't thinking you'd face, or have bigger challenges than you thought you'd face?
I think I had bigger challenges than I faced. I mean, from my size, people would see me oh, it's just a little guy, and then I see other guys big, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I could do this, but it's been a pretty big year. I expected a lot, but I didn't expect this much from the teams we were gonna face. But we're gonna face them again next year, so I'm pretty excited to face them again because I don't like losing against teams, and especially when they celebrate on our field, it just gets me so mad. And then just when I pitch again, I just reminded them that you're not gonna win ever again.
Next year, you got a home field to defend.
Yes.
So that's really
so I'm very excited for the home field. I'm very excited. So a lot of wins are gonna come on that field.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, your temporary home field was good for a year, but it's gonna be great to have a.
Yes, it's gonna be awesome to have a bullpen for once. So instead of a flat ground, we're gonna have a bullpen. We're gonna have a nice field. Hopefully, have more people come to our games. Come support us, and make playoffs next year.
Awesome, man. Good goals.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, now we got Dylan English with us.
How you doing?
We've called you the White Knight because of your white helmet. I told you that in class.
I like
That's
that.
a nickname.
I like that one.
It's not that white though. That helmet. Is there a lore to your white helmet?
It's covered in pine tar.
Yeah.
I'm known for my bats and everything covered in pine tar.
Have you had that helmet since high school? Or?
Yeah, that's been my helmet since high school. And then it's just gotten dirtier and dirtier as time has gone on. Coach tried to get me buying a black helmet, and I
Sorry, Coach.
didn't do that.
You're gonna add the J to it next year?
Possibly. I think I'm gonna add the J to that one, and I'm gonna buy a black one for away. So
You gotta be careful with superstitions and stuff, so you
I
don't want
know.
to change things too much, right?
yeah, exactly.
Are you a superstitious guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In certain ways, yeah.
What's maybe put you on the spot? What's the craziest thing you've seen from a superstitious standpoint within this team? Not necessarily you.
Oh, within this team.
You don't have to name names. I'm just curious what the.
Within this team, there's certain people on the team that they go out and pray a lot, and that really hasn't been something that I've witnessed a lot in my come up of baseball. But that's probably the most superstitious thing that I've seen. Other than that,
That's good.
Nobody's
That's actually spiritual discipline right there.
yeah,
That's
there's
Nobody's
not-
wearing their hats backwards or doing all
Mm-mm.
weird things. Wearing the same undershirt 3 days in a row.
Mm-mm.
All right.
No, I do. I mean, for one of my superstitious things is I have a pair of undershorts that I've been wearing since high school
Okay.
that I wear.
As long as you're washing them, you're okay.
Yeah. Oh, they get washed. Washed after every year.
Dallin's turtleneck doesn't have special powers or anything?
Oh man, no, he just bought that this year. I don't know what that is. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
What's your biggest takeaway this season? First year at Justice, first year for the program.
My biggest takeaway I would say is that being a first year program, we're gonna have a lot of growing pains, and there's a lot to get done when you only have one coach, and it's not everything is possible. The expectations weren't high, and being a first year program and winning 14 games is already a win in our books. We're getting all the growing pains out of the way. Coaches also learning new things, so are we, and I think next year when we have more resources, when we have the field, more coaches, we're going to be good to go next year, and we'll have a great year next year.
Got a couple games left this year still, so you can maybe even get to that 15-16
Oh, yeah.
win mark.
Yeah, we face ACU on Tuesday night. They're nothing special. I mean,
Uh-oh. Don't worry, we won't post this. We might post this, and if they listen, you're in trouble now.
I mean, the way baseball is, anyone can win on any given day. I mean, you could be the best team in the world, and you could still lose to a bunch of average Joes. That's how baseball goes. But, I mean, hopefully we can put up a fight Tuesday night against ACU, and then next Friday when we play Nelson 2 more times, hopefully we can get them back and take 2 wins, especially having our senior night.
And so you had a home run earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Was that your first collegiate home run?
Yeah, that was my first. Oh, I mean, unless you want to count over the summer, but yeah, that was my first collegiate home run.
How did that feel? Like, take us through kind of the emotions of that.
It was very surreal. I mean, I was coming off of a injury. I was out for a little over a month with a torn labrum. So to be able to do that first at bat back was pretty special. Felt pretty good.
First base coach Dylan over here, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We were like, oh, look who's walking over to first. Again, one of those things when you don't have 100 coaches, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I really don't want to be the first base coach anymore, meaning he wanted to play.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
With Jarrett, we were talking about some of the psychological aspects of the game when it comes to pitching.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned just going through a little bit of a hitting slump.
Yeah.
Tell me, like, how do you break out of a slump like that psychologically? What do you do to get out of that?
When you get in a slump, I feel like for me, or in general, it's like when you get in your head too much and you start overthinking everything, you start overthinking your mechanics, and then when you get up to the plate, you start thinking about your mechanics, and everything just ends up falling apart, and then you get upset with yourself and frustrated. And like, I feel like the biggest thing is like you just want to go up there and have fun. You don't want to think. You just want to see ball, hit ball, simplize it. I mean, it's all a part of like just clearing your head and working on your basics when you're not playing or when you're not having games, and when the game comes, you'll be ready. Just have fun. Just like things are going to happen, you're going to fail. I mean, Hall of Famers are successful 3 out of 10 times, and you're a Hall of Famer. Like, baseball is a failure sport, and if you can't accept that, then you're not going to be great, and you just have to accept failure and just shake it off. I mean, it's baseball. There's like in the MLB, there's 160 plus games this season. I mean, there's people that go 0 for 4, 5 games in a row, and then they end up coming back, and then they'll go 4 for 4, and it's like, that's who they are.
I mean, just boggle your mind as a player to go from, you got 35-ish games under your belt this year, and you just said 162. Like, does that just go like, how do they do that? To me, that's so many games.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of games. I mean, all of them have off days too, and rest and trainers, and they have all the
massages and cold plunges and all those things.
Oh yeah. I mean, around our year, I mean, we play probably about 50 to 60 games a year, roughly. I mean, next season we'll probably have more games, roughly, hopefully over 40, like we were supposed to have this year. But I mean, it's just like you got to take failure with a grain of salt. It's gonna happen. I mean, no one's perfect. It's impossible to be perfect at baseball.
learn from it,
Yeah,
catalog it away.
yeah.
I have to ask you a curiosity question, just as a baseball fan.
Mhm.
As a hitter, are there pitchers, and don't name names, but are there pitchers that you've encountered either in your high school days or even this year that you just kind of go, yeah, I got this guy. Like, I know this guy's number.
Oh yeah, I have. I faced my buddy from that I caught all 4 years of high school against. He pitches for Mesa Benedictine,
Okay.
and I hit 2 deep fly balls off of him, and it felt good.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were caught. But that's the game of baseball right there.
I just
But he
wonder if
didn't beat
hitters
me.
walk up and just kind of go, oh, it's this guy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you always want to like the way Coach put it this year is like you want to walk up there like you're about to go into the octagon in the UFC fight. Like you're going to battle. You're going to win. You have to go with the mentality that they're not better than you. And in all reality, no pitcher is better than you. The pitcher, you got to put the pressure on the pitcher, not the other way around.
It's awesome. Well, you guys, thank you for spending some time with us and, for taking a chance on justice
Oh yeah,
and a new program. That
Yeah.
means a lot. And I think you guys have been really great additions, not only to the program, but to the school.
yeah.
Good ambassadors for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like I'm here for a reason, and I'm gonna trust the process.
Love it.
Don't run from it.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Well, that was an eventful time. Lots of different perspectives from these are really cool students. I don't know if you know that.
We need more talking to these students for the future podcast episodes, I think. That's what I'm learning from this. They were really, really smart kids. They had a lot to say. They love their sport. They love being a part of their team. Yeah, a lot of good things that they brought.
How old are you? They're kids.
They are.
Yeah.
I know. I could be their dads now.
I said students to try and, maintain that.
when you're old enough to be their father, I think you can call them a kid.
That would be me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Most of
Yeah.
these are younger than my kids, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, great time today talking to. Thanks for everybody that showed up and talked to us. Thanks for those of you that tuned into our podcast regularly this last couple of seasons and watched our broadcast for the first time. We're learning. We're trying to get better. So thank you for the grace in those situations where things didn't work out exactly how we hoped. But I've had a fun first year doing this, Matt.
It's been great. It's been great doing it with you.
Absolutely. So thanks again. If you don't already, subscribe everywhere you can. Follow us on social media, and we'll hope to be back next year stronger than ever, and we'll see you then.
Peace.